Okay. Think I'm live? Okay. Alright, well. Alright, well, let's just, I don't think that's the right one, is it? No. There it is. Cool. Alright, I think I'm live. First time I've ever done this, so bear with me a little bit. It looks like that's not the right window. Let's try this. There we go. Alright, cool. Hey, everybody. Meditating Monkey here. Or just Monkey, whichever one you want to call me. I'm going to do, I'm starting a new thing. I'm starting to live stream, I think. I think it'll be fun. Maybe we'll get some hangout, whatever. You know, we'll see how it goes. And, if it's something fun to do, or people want to hang out and all, here I am. I don't know. So basically, what I started off with so far, I just kind of made myself a little bit of a template so far, just to look at Bavlorna's Cottage from Wild Beyond the Witchlight. Hold on, I got an echo back here. I need to turn down my volume on YouTube. There we go. Okay, figure things out. So I don't even know who's in here right now. If there's anybody even in here. Looks like maybe just me. But anyways, so, okay. Bavlorna's College. Photoshop. Over here. This is where I'm at. What I've done so far is I've kind of started up a little bit of a base to work with based off of what, let me bring my Roll20 window in here, based off of what the original map shows, which shows the third floor, second floor, first floor, as well as this little section here in the middle. That's going to be what I base my map off of. And all I've done so far, just to give myself a little bit of a head start in this, is just give myself a little block out of where everything is. That's pretty much it. So I'm going to merge all of these together real fast and just kind of bring them down here to the bottom underneath everything else. And I got myself some layers kind of started off so far, just some textures and things. We'll see. I might change some of these around, maybe so, maybe not, I don't know, we'll figure it out. But so a little bit of my process, this is kind of the basis of it, just in case anyone is watching in the future or wants to see, to learn how I do it. I usually just kind of block things out, and I kind of usually start off with a little bit of a template that I have. It's just basically got my base textures going on. And then I kind of figure out what I want to do. So this is going to be big. This canvas that I have that I'm working with is going to be big enough to do all 4 sections of what I'm doing, and I'm going to be kind of working out of each one of these. These little squares right here are going to be what the map sizes actually are for each one that I save, and all of the extra dead space around here is just going to be, well, dead space. In fact, I can go ahead and block some of that out real fast so that it's not as distracting with the texture behind it. Maybe that'll be a good start. Also, the bluish section on here is essentially kind of like a rough estimate of what it could, of the size that it could be, and I was like, you know what? I added on a little bit extra space around the edges with the purplish, purple blocks that you see around my, around here. That essentially is just going to be kind of like an extended section that I kind of want to, I kind of figured I would add on a little bit more. It's just, there we go. Because essentially, when I was DMing this, there was some sections that we had a little bit of a flying encounter that also kind of happened. I should probably adjust where my camera's at. Let me this over this way. Maybe I can do this. Yeah, there we go. Haha, I'm a little more centered now. Stream stuff, trying to figure things out. Hopefully by the next time I do a stream, maybe I'll have a little more decided, a little more figured out. Is anyone in here yet? I know I saw a couple people that were saying yay, and maybe they will come, but I don't see anybody in here right now. Oh well. So first, usually what I start with first is going to be walls, after the blockout, of course. Considering this is a cottage, we will go with a wooden wall. I have a bunch of different types of walls in here to kind of start it up. Usually do 2 or 3 layers of my walls. Maybe we'll try having, because I think I'm just going to do nothing but wooden in here. Actually, I'll leave plaster up here, because I might do a section of it with that. I don't know. We'll see. But we're going to start off with my lowest wooden wall layer. I don't think I'm going to need these, so I'm just going to delete these just to save a little bit of space. And I'm just going to grab a small brown brush. And size it around like 35. 35 sounds like a good size. I already have a lot of my effects layers already set up, just in case anyone wants to see what I do with them. I usually start off with a little bit of a bevel and bows. If you want to use my settings, you can. Stroke, you add that on there. I put a pattern overlay. This one I'm just using a wooden pattern. And I have usually a couple of drop shadows, one that's kind of centered and another one that's kind of a little bit off. Usually go with like a 120 angle. Sometimes I'll add on some color overlays too if I don't like, if I think that the wood is too saturated or too textured. But yeah, so that's kind of where I start off with, and then from here I just work out of my layer masks, clipping masks, and make sure I have a white brush, and then I'll just basically just kind of follow my lines right now. We'll just go with the straight ones first. So I'll do these other ones later. There's a door there. Let me pull up my reference real fast. I know there's some other things in this section. It's like a window over here about halfway, so we'll take this all the way across. Actually, I'll change my guides real fast. So double these. And then That'll work for now. And I get a door right here. Switch back to my other guides. One, two, three. Right here. There's another door. Use my curve brush, curvature pin. Just kind of add a little stroke there, here. And here. So I'm not trying to follow my guide exactly. What I'm really looking at when I'm doing this is just making sure that it kind of follows the actual grid line. I don't want to go over it because I don't want to overlap that. That's about it for that. I'll deal with that balcony in a minute because that's going to be on a different layer. Let's move on down to the second floor. I have my reference open on my side screen right now, so if anyone's wondering what I'm looking at. Is anyone even in here yet? No, nope, just still me. Alright, so floor 2. I'll come back and add windows. So we're just going to go and do base block outline first. This is really easy to do. So these stairs are going to be a separate one. Now we have, let's create our rooms, which I did not block these out. So we're going to have a room here, block out a door. This is a little hallway. We're going to have a little other thing right there. We'll leave that door there. Actually, I know this is like a hidden. I remember from when I DM'd this, it's like a mouse hole right here. So we'll just make that into an actual wall. This comes down to here. This comes over to here. That's another. So it's a hallway. Tiles down to there. Boom, boom. That's that wall. 3 here. We have 1 there, 1 to here. Alright, so that's that room. Now we have this room. There's a door there. A hallway here. This comes up to here. And that's only accessible down there. This one right here. So that's our base layout for this section, minus our doors. We'll deal with those in a minute. Doors and windows. This one, ignore the blue. The blue is basically this, making sure it lines up properly to this. Okay. What's up, Ella? I just saw that you came in here. Starting out my first stream ever. Right now I'm kind of mapping out Bavlorna's Cottage. So far I've just kind of set down some walls. I have like a base block outline of everything that I have going on here. This, if I... You see like a little bit of a blue section back here. Might be easier if I do a white background and add in my textures later. But this little blue background is kind of like the base layout of about what the map size. And I was like, I'm going to add on this little section here, so that, because in case there might be flying or water stuff that might happen. But anyways, right now I'm just laying out my walls, which I have a template already set up in Photoshop that's got all my textures and everything already in there, and I'm just basically using a clipping mask with some settings like a bevel, a stroke, a little pattern texture, and some drop shadow for this layer right now. And I got my reference opened up over on my side screen over here, so I'm kind of looking back. I'm going to go back through and do some windows in a little bit, but right now I'm just basically laying out some walls. 15, 5, 10, 15. I know I got a door there. And this comes out to here. And then we have another door over here. And I am going to leave that open because I'll do that on a different layer. The little, oh no wait, that's, these steps go here. Okay, yeah. This will be on a different layer. Cool, I'm glad it sounds good. I spent some time and found some free overlays for like a thing to give me a window and a little chat box, but it doesn't even look like the chat box is showing your chats, so I might have to figure out what's going on there. But I did try to set some of that stuff up. I don't know. I'll probably redo it at some point. This is just some free thing I found online, but I might just do like my own little background behind it all and not even worry about the chat box. I don't know. Thanks for joining. Thanks for being my first viewer, like ever. Alright, so moving on. This area right here is a dock, and this is like kind of what they had. I'll bring over my reference on. Sweet. Appreciate it. Over here I have on my second window I have my reference. I'll just bring this window over here for a second. This is the official map. I think my wife just got home. And this is this section right here. Is this. So it's just like a dock. And that's kind of all that they put in here. So I'm probably going to change a little bit of that because I don't know if that's, I don't know. I haven't decided yet. I'm gonna mute myself for 2 seconds just to say hey to my wife. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna put up the be right back thing. Okay. Which one was it? Was it this one? There we go. Alright, I'm back. I just had to go say hey to my wife real fast and let her know I'm back here making noise in the other room. Okay. Alright, so this is going to be a rough layout of what the docks were going to be. And as you see, they did not line up at all. I actually brought in the actual thing whenever I was setting up my block layout. That's how they had it lined up to their grid, which is a 10-foot grid, but I don't know. I'm probably going to change that out a little bit. The most important part, though, is just making sure that this lines up and that lines up, because that's where one entrance is here. It's like a little well. Another entrance is here, where it's like a little floor hatch. So I think I'm going to do a little bit different of a brush size. I'm going to go down to like 15. Then I'm going to, I think I'm going to start off here a little bit. Another thing to consider, yeah, maybe I will follow this, but loosely. Actually, I have an idea what one of the best ways to do this might be. I'm actually going to change my brush up to a 140 size, and I'm just going to go to a layer below, turn off my snap for right now, because this is going to be kind of like a weird, sketchy looking dock, so I'm going to kind of do some stuff like this real fast, just to kind of give it a rickety look to it. This is just going to be so I can grab a selection. I'm going to go past it a little bit. And then kind of want to make this a little bit bigger, maybe like a little bit of a loading dock kind of thing that they're going to have out here, maybe. I'm going to do something similar right here. Now, from here, actually, you know what, I'm going to go backwards a few, because I want these to be more squared. So we're going to grab actually I can use the same brush. I really want this thing to feel like really rickety, so. And now we're going to delete some of this, because I had a round brush. This is why I did this. So we're going to delete that, and we're going to delete this. Now, I'm going to use my selection. I'm going to hit M, right click, make a work path. Now I have a path. Now I can get rid of that. Go back to here. We're gonna have my 15 pixel brush selected. I'm gonna go to P for path. Now I have my, or pin actually, I have my pin tool selected, which is where the path goes to. I'm just gonna right click and I'm just gonna go stroke path. Boom. Now, before I worry about deleting that extra stuff, because I'm going to delete that, I'm gonna go up to my other wooden layer. Actually, I think that's too thick. We're gonna go back, we're gonna do that at 10. Yeah, that looks better. Now we're going to go back to this brush. We're going to add some spacing in here. I think about 150 will be good. And we're going to go to... Did that on the wrong layer. Oh well. You can do that on this layer. It's cool. But we're going to increase the brush size to 15 now, and then we're going to do the same thing. We're just going to stroke the path. Stroke, path, boom. Now we have some little dots. I feel like that's too much of a shadow though. Actually, we're going to duplicate that because I do want that layer to have those shadows on a different part of the map. This, we're going to drop this down considerably. Alright. Now, I'm going to delete some of that stuff. Go back to this. We're going to get black as my selection color, and we're just going to delete some of this wall. Boom. Alright, let me go check out my reference real fast. Just saw your comment. Do you illustrate all your own map assets? Yes, I do. Oh god, I can show you. Here, let me just pull up. This is gonna look like a mess. But this is my folder on my file manager. It has like all of my assets. So I kind of have them organized in two ways. Part one, which is in the root folder of just my decor packs. I have all of this stuff, which is stuff that I haven't put out on my Patreon or on Roll20 or anything. So this is like a bunch of new stuff that I've made. These are just banners. So I have like 453 new assets that I have not like put out yet. And then I have on my decor master folder a lot more. This is 3,921 assets that I have already made and saved as PNGs. Everything from weapons, treasure boxes, tables, prefab tables, statues, runes, rubble, skeletons, Christmas presents, all kinds of shit. Yeah, so I've made all these. Some of these I made in Photoshop, some of these I made in ZBrush, and then finished in Photoshop. But yeah, I also have a bunch of other stuff. Like I got a bunch of gears that I don't have there. I have a bunch of trees and rocks and branches and stuff. Don't have those in there. Also have straw huts in there. So even more. I'd probably say if I went through all my different folders that I have my assets in, I have probably close to like 6,000 something, 6,500 different things. But yeah, I make them in either Photoshop or ZBrush. I did make some stuff in Blender back in the day, but I never really got the hang of Blender and I didn't like it. It was really way too clunky. I do also make some other parts of some assets, like if I bring that back over here, I can show you. Let's find one of the ones I just made. It's going to seem like such a small detail to use a different app to do this, but it's pretty cool. Maybe I'll show it in a little bit. Oh, here we go. Wall candles. So this is just like a little candle that I made. It looks really blurry and pixelated, but that's because it's like literally just 140 pixels, because that's the size it's going to be. I also have like braziers and stuff like that too. Maybe if I can grab one, show one of those. But I use this app called Flame Painter to, well, paint flames. So like this stuff. Things like that I've made in another app called Flame Painter. I'll go ahead and open that up real fast. I'll probably use it at some point later. But that's just like an app that I can, here, I'll even, you know what, we'll open say hi to my wife, she's behind me. I'll open up, you know what, I'll just do, I'll make a flaming bucket. So once it's in here, this is very similar to Photoshop, the way this app is set up. But I'll grab my flame brush for this particular thing, I'll create a new layer above it, grab my little pen, and I'll just draw some flames. And then boom, I have a flaming bucket. There's all kinds of stuff that this little app has, from, I mean, star sky. I can do all kinds of cool stuff. I can do some smoke. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff. Sparks. I use this a lot. Sometimes I'll use this like little thing right here just to create some effects. But anyways, that's one of the other apps that I'll use to make some of my assets in. I picked it up on Humble Bundle a long time ago. It came with like 6 apps. It was like Flame Painter. There's a couple of other ones. I can't remember what they are, but this is the only one I use out of any of the ones that I picked up. It's really cool. It's called particle brushes is what it basically is. And there's even a plugin which I did have installed at one point, but I don't know, maybe I moved the location of it or something, but now it doesn't work. But there is a plugin that directly integrates back and forth from Photoshop, so you can just move things from Photoshop into there and move things back from there into Photoshop. Personally, I just open things and then just work in there and just save stuff as layers or save the asset in there. Yeah. Alright, back to this. This one is a little bit off. I can just see that one dot is, I erased too much of it, so let's just fix that real fast. Alright, cool. Let me look back at my reference for a second. Okay, yeah, it doesn't look like there's anything special here. Alright, so I got another cool little thing I'm going to show now. Or at least I'm going to try to show now. Let's see how it comes out. So I have, let's see, what is this? No, I don't like that. That's going to be too correct. Wood knotted. Yeah, cool. This brush is a brush I made I called it Planks Directional. So it basically just follows the direction that I go. So I'm going to start a line. We're going to go through here and we're just going to stroke that path. Delete some of that because I don't want all of that. I'm going to deal with this section in a minute. I'm actually going to duplicate this layer because I'm going to need this to be on. Whoops. I'm going to need this to be on different layers. I can already tell. Just because the way this brush works. Alright, we're going to do the same thing, kind of going this way. I want to kind of break it up a little bit. Have a couple different little directionals, so I'm doing a couple of different dots. Ah, dang it. Move back to my other brush. There we go. Way too big. The 150 should be good. Nice. There we go. Yeah, I can teach you Photoshop. I mean, just come hang out sometimes. I think I'm gonna start doing this a little more often, like, well, more often. Like I've never done this before, never streamed before, but I think I'm going to stream somewhat fairly often. I don't know how often yet, but once or twice a week maybe. So you'll pick up some of the tricks just from watching. I know you're a smart creator, so. Alright, let's do another stroke here. Alright, now let me. So there's 150 is the size of that, so just need to remember that number. Kind of trim off some of these now. Now I need to do these ones. The only downside of this brush I made is it's basically an alpha brush. So if I increase the size of it, it just makes everything bigger. And I don't necessarily want that. So maybe what I'll do, I know what I'll do. I'll just make my own little planks. We'll just put them in here. And we'll just duplicate this a few times, and we'll just kind of and this will be cool too, because I can go back and kind of change the direction of a few of these to kind of really give it a little bit of a rickety look to it, like they're just not placed correctly. So I mean, this is a swamp hag's dock that goes to her hut. So now that I have that, we'll just kind of change the direction of a couple of them, just ever so slightly. Do this one. Alright. I'm just going to duplicate these real fast, and then I'm going to merge these together. We're going to change this to magenta just for right now. Have you played Wild Beyond Witchlight? It's a pretty fun campaign. This was requested to me by someone over on that server because I've made a bunch of maps for Wild Beyond Witchlight, and there's a lot of people over there in that community that really appreciate the maps that I've made, and they've asked me to make this one because it's one of the only ones that I didn't make for the actual hags that are. There's 3 hags in that campaign, and I basically made maps for 2 of them, and I didn't make the layer map for this one, which is earlier in the campaign. So I'm going back in and I'm making that map because I should have made this a long time ago. Get rid of this one. So this is like a center point, so I can rotate from that point, just in case you're wondering what I'm doing. I'm kind of doing that with some of these, because I know that this is going to be a weird setup on this, on these planks. Oh, that's right. I think I remember talking to you about that not too long ago. One of Mia's streams. Honestly, I kind of want to DM this again. Maybe whenever I do get the time to do that, maybe I'll invite you. I mean, 100% honest. This is one of my favorite campaigns I've ever run. Honestly, I think it's the best one that Wizards of the Coast did too. And it's not even close. And the Tomb of Annihilation was kind of fun, but that's like a really brutal campaign, and it might not be for everybody, especially if you don't like characters dying. But I've really enjoyed Wild Beyond the Woodside a lot, and it's one of the few ones that I want to do again. Tammy Tincture. Hell yeah. So right now I'm just kind of manually placing where I want some of these boards to be. Like I said, I want this to be like really rickety looking, so we're doing this for right now. Alright, so now we have that one. I'm just going to merge them all together. I can make more of these boards for the next section. I'm going to delete some of this now. I'm going to delete. I said delete. Am I not deleting? What's wrong? There we go. Must have had a selection somewhere else. Alright. Do need to figure something out with this, because that just... You know what? I know what I can do. I can hide that. I can put some crates right around there. I can turn that into like a happy little mistake, as some people would say. So we're going to make a selection. I'm going to grab this. I'm going to just hit delete with white as my background color, because that will make that happen there. Like that. We're going to do the same thing here, except for before I do that, I'm going to also delete some of this excess. It's okay if I leave a little bit there. It's rickety, right? We're going to do the same thing here. Just going to add that there. Yeah, I'm going to put some crates here just to kind of hide all of that crap. And we're going to do... Also, a fun tip, whether you're using eraser or brush, if you're using eraser on a clipping mask, it's your background layer is what is going to be painted with. If I use a brush, if I use B for brush, it's going to be painted with the foreground layer. So you can still use a clip. You can still use your brush and eraser the same way. It's just same thing. Like if I'm using my brush and white's my foreground layer, it's going to be painting with that. If I just hit X and switch my black to my foreground layer, it's going to paint off. And now if I hit E for eraser, it's going to be using the background layer as white and the foreground layer as black. If I just hit over, hit X. Anyways, a little fun little tip. Mia, what's up? You're my second person to ever watch my stream. Hey. How are you? Okay, so I need to make some more boards to make these little sections here. So do it the same way I did the last one. I'm just going to make a little selection. I'm just going to delete these two now because I'm done with those. And we're going to create a new layer. Oh, I moved it. I said delete. Drop this into the trash bucket. Go. Bye. Don't need you anymore. Oh, okay. You're just going to... Alright, let me make this real fast so I can get rid of my selection. And now I can just delete it like that. There we go. Go away. Oh, it's just started. Not even near done. So basically, just to give you a little bit of an update of what I'm doing, just kind of blocked out my sections, and I had some like loose backgrounds of where everything is. The map that I'm making is Bavlorna's Cottage from Wild Beyond Witchlight. It's the first Hag's lair that you come to in the campaign, and there's 3 layers plus a dock section, which is part of the map. So basically 3rd floor, 2nd floor, 1st floor, and the docks. So that's basically what I'm doing. So far all I have done right now is the base outline of the walls for the different areas, and I'm starting on the docks. I still need to go through, do windows, doors, balconies, as well as a lot of other details and stuff like that. So got a ways to go. Still just getting started with this map, but that's what it all is so far. Ella's in here. You should say hi to Ella. And Ella should say hi to you too. You guys know each other. I'm gonna go this way with these planks. So I'm gonna hand place all these planks just like I was the dock worker. You missed my cool little brush. I had a brush that kind of did some of this stuff too, like these straight ones. But anyways, moving on. So we're just going to do this over here. I have an idea. Don't know if it'll be a good idea, but I have an idea. Alright. I'll just bring this one up here for right now. And I'm going to merge all these together, select this, hide this, and then I'm going to, wait a second, hold on. Yeah, okay. I'm going to put it on this layer right here. Now we have that. And I'm going to get rid of some of this stuff on the side here. Going to get rid of this and that. Actually, I'm going to undo that. No, you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to put one more layer here. Actually, I'll just use this. So this is a very makeshifty kind of dock, so we're going to add some more planks into some of these other layers that are just kind of hanging out here. Whoops, wrong layer. And this was my idea earlier. So we're just going to put one of these here. Do a couple more of them. Now I can trim off this excess over here. I'm going to do a little bit more with these later, giving them a little more rough around the edges with another brush, but I'm going to do that a little bit later. Yeah, totally. Being in the audience in the stream is a lot less of a what's the word? It's a lot less aggravating, a lot less less nerves going on than having to be there, be on the talking end. I'm like constantly finding like this is the first time I've ever streamed, so I'm constantly finding myself like, oh, I need to keep talking and entertaining people because that's like what they're here for and stuff. All while trying to concentrate on what you're doing, and it's like, oh yeah. There's more than just going live and then like being entertaining. You know, I've thought about it before. Like, I'm surprised more creators that stream don't have like multiple creators like hanging, or multiple people just like, even like I don't know, this could be a really bad can of worms to open, but like if you have audience members that you could trust, like why not just like bring them into like the chat and like be like, hey, that way, because it's like weird just talking to yourself the whole time. I feel like I'd almost like want to like have someone just like hanging out that I'm talking to and stuff. I don't know. Ideas, thoughts. I don't know. Yeah. Definitely helps a lot just having a chat going on over here. But then it's like when you get in the zone and you don't like look at the chat sometimes, and it's like 5 minutes before you like respond to something, and you're like responding to a comment that happens like 5 minutes ago. I don't know. Maybe not today, but maybe I'll figure it out. Maybe I'll. I mean, honestly, could probably just make it to where it's like join in like a super secret, top secret Discord chat or something, and just be like, that way it's not like a link, not like a chat that's open to everybody, just like a chat that's only open to like the people that are, you know. I mean, actually, that's another idea. Because I know you and Ricky were talking about other things to incentivize people to, like, I don't know, join your little YouTube subscription channels and stuff. I mean, it could be just like giving people the permissions to like join like a Discord channel or something where they could actually hang out. I don't know. That might be much. And I'm getting tired of working on these planks. I might come back to these in a minute, go work on something else. Yeah, I'm going to come back to this mess in a little bit. I'm going to do something easy for a minute. We're going to do... So, like, I always do this thing with all my maps. If you ever look at any of my maps, I do, like... Let me open up one of my other maps so I can kind of show what I'm talking about. Like, little junction points is basically what I'm trying to say. I don't know what they're called. Like, little corner pieces in maps. So just for reference, this one might not be the best one because these are, look at this part of it. So like these little, whoa, don't zoom in that far. These little parts are like right here. These little corner pieces in the walls that kind of hide like the different parts. I don't know, like where things intersect. So this is what I'm going to do now, and I have a little brush that I like to use for this. I just call it Cornerstone. Depends on the size of my wall, what size I do it. I think I'm going to go with 50 on these. And we'll go up to this layer. And we'll turn my grid back on. Make sure I have snap to grid on. And basically just kind of like dot these little junction points in here. That way it creates a little bit of a breakup in the wall. And I'll put some extra ones here and there where they feel like they make sense. Hello, what's up? How are you? Thanks for coming in and hanging out. I am making a map. Right now I am making Bavlorna's Cottage from the Wild Beyond Witchlight, which I'm going to give away for free once I'm finished with it, and all over the place, everywhere that I give stuff away for free. I'll probably post it as a free post on my Patreon. I'm going to post it for free in the Wild Beyond Witchlight Discord server, which is actually where it was requested from. I've made a bunch of stuff, a bunch of maps for that module, and about a week ago, they're not even here. I didn't even tell that community that I was streaming. Let me look up that community real fast. I'm gonna find the Discord person's name, and I'm gonna name drop him into super hyped stream that I got going on here. Justinian was his name, and he basically asked me if I'd made this map yet, because he's used like a bunch of my other maps. Like I've made the map for the Palace of Harsh Desire, I've made the Loom Lorch, I can't remember the other one, but the stage map for one of the other hags. I made all these maps and everything, but I never made Bavlorna's Cottage, and he's asked me if I made it, and I was like, nope, I kind of just didn't make that one. So I'm making it because he asked nicely. And yeah. Plus, I just want to make this map because this is a cool map, and I've always thought about going back to this map, going back to this campaign in general. It's a campaign I want to run again one day, and so when I go to run it again, I'm going to need this map anyway, so. Sure. Let me look at my reference real fast. Aloha is alive. So I do have my reference. I actually literally just have like the Roll20 version of the map open on another page. I'll just kind of show it over here for a second. This is kind of what I'm working with. This is what needs to be drawn. You might be also asking yourself why recreate something that they did for several reasons. One reason, they kind of, I don't know, I'm not a big fan of their style of map sometimes. I think this one wasn't too bad, but like some of their details are sometimes missing, and I don't know. Like, let me just show you their version of Palace of Heart's Desire. This is what they made for the Palace of Heart's Desire. Looks okay. It's also to a 10-foot square, so all of these squares are smaller. That's one main reason why people want new versions of these maps. Another reason is just like literally what Justinian said in the other chat was just the style of the map. It's very plain, is what they called it, where my maps usually have a little more atmosphere to them. So if you saw Palace of Heart's Desire, this was my version of the Palace of Heart's Desire. So a lot different, a lot more detail, more texture, a lot more atmospheric things going on. Like they didn't even have this little glass carriage that's in here. Like a lot of this stuff they didn't have, but it's like written in the notes that these are things that are there. And it's just, yeah, I don't know. This is what I did with my version of their map. And the next floor, you know, like on the map, this just looked like a hallway where it's actually like a river inside of the palace itself. Yeah. Anyways, that's kind of why I do my own version of these maps, just in case anyone was wondering why recreate something that's already created. And you guys are here for the very beginning of it. You're going to be able to see what this looks like. Like I'm sure Ella and Mia, both of you are artists. So like, if you look at something that you're making at the very beginning and see where it goes from there, yeah, it's got a long ways to go. But it's going to be really cool when it's done. So yeah, like right now I'm just making my little junction points. That's what I call them. I don't know. There's probably a better term than junction points. And right now I'm just using this brush basically as like a stamp. I'm just like using my mouse and just clicking. Also, I go back and forth from using mouse and my stylus. Right now for things like walls, I really just use stylus. So, or my mouse. Not my stylus. Alright, there's those. That part's done. Now another little cool trick that I do sometimes. Ooh, actually, I need to just do these windows real fast before I do that trick. Because there's a lot of windows in here that I'm just ignoring. I've only done one so far. There's a window here. Actually, I need to change the way that looks because that's too much for a window. Too much of a junction. junction block. That's what I'm going to call them, junction blocks. Need to get rid of that for right now because that's going to go. That's going to be a window. All right, let's see. We're going to have a window here. We're going to have a window here. Actually, I have to have a window here. And this is also why I made sure to have some extra space around this, because last time I DM'd this, my party decided to have a flying battle. And that's literally where they're flying, is right out there. It was kind of cool. We're going to get rid of this block because there's actually going to be a little... let me go back down here to my bottom layer, because I need to do a little bit more notes for myself for later. I'm just going to do these as red. There's a balcony here. There's a balcony here. There's a bigger balcony here. Another balcony here. Okay. Cool. Now I got my balconies put out here. Now let's go back to making windows. So this is actually going to be a window, not a door. It goes to this balcony, which is off-centered on their map, so we'll follow their off-centered. And another window here. This is a door, so we need to get rid of that block, and we need to turn this into a door. It's actually right here. And that is so inaccurate of a blob of a balcony reference, because that's not where it's at. This one has another door here, and then two little small windows right here around the door. So we'll do those, and that's it. Looks like that's it for my windows. All right, I can come back in here and finish up my junction blocks. Drop it down to 45. Actually gonna, you know what? I'm gonna use this brush to make my little window junctions, little window junction block thing, whatever. Non-stop cheering. Well, thank you. I like cheering. We're going to rotate this brush by 90 degrees. And then I'm going to come in here and put this little... Oh, wait. This is actually a door. We're going to keep this with this straight. This one. And this one's a door too. We get that door there. Okay. Now let's go back to this sideways window brush. Oh wait, I missed a window. There's one down here in this room, in the kitchen, and one down here. We'll get those in a second. Alright, so those are done. Now let's get my window here. And they got a window over here. It's a weird spot. I don't like where they put that one. I'm going to put this window here, actually. I'm changing away from the base map. I'm putting a window in a different spot. It's happening. It's just happening. And then we're going to get rid of part of these. Not following the source material 100%, just a fair bit. Okay. So those windows are done. I don't think there's any windows in the bottom floor. Yeah, no. There's two. There's two up here. Oh no, there's four. No, six. 6 windows. There's a bunch of windows. All right, later, Mia. Have a good one. Thanks for coming by. I appreciate you stopping by. Next time you stream, I'll probably be there. I'm not gonna just heads up, letting you know I'm not gonna be streaming at the same time you're streaming because I'm always hanging out during your streams. But you know, this isn't me trying to take over your streams. This is just me feeling like, why not? Let's stream. Looks like fun. All right. Get my reference back up. All right. So we got we got two windows up here. We'll do one right there and one right here. It's close to where they have them. It's not exactly where they have them, but I'm doing things my way. And get rid of these blocks. And we're going to do a window here and a window here. Actually, you know what? I will do these a little bit different. I'm going to do these right here and right here. And then we have, so that's a door there. It's such weird placements for these windows. So I'm going to change up to where they got them to again. It's because it doesn't feel aesthetically pleasing to me to have them where they have them. So I'm going to put them here and here. That way they're a little bit more equally spaced out. Alright, back to this brush. My little junction point brush. And then we'll just go and change it back to no angle. So that I can put it here, 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 here. Alright. Now, let's make the windows. So, I don't have a window texture loaded in here yet. But what I can do is I'm going to do two things. I'm going to duplicate this layer. I'm going to delete everything from that layer. And I'm going to duplicate this layer again because I do kind of think I might do something below it. We'll see. We'll see. So from here, I'm going to go in. I'm basically going to keep the same settings, but I'm going to change my pattern in here to be something like this. Even though this is some aluminum, this will work. We're going to add a color overlay to it. I'm going to add a couple of them. I'm going to add one that's going to be a normal layer. We're going to bring it up to about, I don't know, like 70% or so. And then another layer like this. And we're going to do this as a hard light. Actually, you know what? I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do gradient overlay. We're going to go into our blues and do something like this. Yeah, that looks good. Alright, now we are going to go back into our hard round, get our hard round brush. And we're going to do something around, so that one's at 35, I think. So I want to go a little bit smaller, so we'll go with 30. Oops. Actually, I kind of want this to be below this layer anyways, so in case I do have any mistakes. Oh, that's the door. What am I doing? Now we have a window. Anyone saying anything? No one saying anything. Must be either good or boring, one of the two. Alright, so we got windows done. Window, 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 window. I need to add those little things here. Little junction points here and there. So we get a big window there. That one is a door. That one is a door. This one's a window. This one's a window. This one's a window. This one's a window. 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 And window. Okay. I'm going to add my floor textures now. I'm just going to put a generic base one down. I'll probably change around a little bit. But just to have something so that I'm looking at a little bit more. This will add a lot to what we got going on here. So I typically just use the the shape selection brush here to kind of just grab the areas that I know, because this is quick and easy progress to a map. And boop, now we have a lot more progress. Oh, I need to do one here. I missed that. And I need to do this part right here. Alright, now let's do these balconies real fast. I need to do the balconies. We are going to go to yeah, see, this is why I duplicated this layer. I knew there's a reason. Alright. So let's think. Do I want to keep these as just round balconies like they have? Sure. We'll keep these ones like this. So we're going to go down. We're going to do this as like a size 10 brush. We're just going to stroke path. Stroke path. This one, I'm going to change it the size that they have on this one. No balcony. This one is up here. Stroke path. Okay. Cool. We have those done. Now we have one more balcony down here, which I never even put on the thing. We're going to go to here, here, to here, to here, to here, to here. Actually, you know what I need to do? I need to do this right. Pen tool, here to here. Curvature pen. Pen tool. Curvature pen. And pen tool. Alright, now keeping that selection there because we're done with the balcony. Oh wait, I still got these ones over here. We'll do with those in a minute. Those are straight lines anyways. So we're going to bump up to 15. We're going to put this up to 150. Get off of content aware. I don't want content aware. Alright, now we have some balconies. Yay. Yay for balconies. Alright, that's done, it's done, it's done, it's done. Okay. Alright, so we have, oh, and another window over here. That's a door, and that's a window, okay. So let's get our brush back out for our window. Alright. It's a tiny little window. Okay, so now that we have all that done, let's go ahead and add in our floors for these. Wait, no, that's not a door. That is a window too. Okay. Fix that real fast. Bloop. All right. Okay, so now we have, excuse me. We got one more little thing we need to do right here. So this is going to be going to be a little balcony with some steps. There we go. Add these all the way down to here, but before I forget, I do want to go ahead and add some stairs in right here, because I already have some assets for stairs already made in the wooden style. Alright. Okay, so we have the base down for most of this. Now that we have most of that done, I do want to do one more little technique here. So I have these little plaster walls. This is just minor detail, but I like doing this sometimes. So I'm going to do select modifier contract 7. I think that's probably the last time I used contract was when I did this. So that sounds about right. And then we'll just fill this plaster wall in with that. So that gives us this cool little difference of a wall that kind of helps space out some of that stuff. I'm also going to select this, and then we're going to hit M for our marquee tool. We're going to make a work path. Did it make a path? Did that make my path? Let's try it again. I don't think it's making my path. Maybe it's too much. Okay, maybe I get an idea. We'll just get rid of this. We'll get rid of this. Maybe I was deciding that was too many different ones and they're out of. Yeah, stairs are weird. I made some stairs a long time ago, and I just use those. I cycle them in for maps at least. As far as like 3D models, I haven't. I don't know. Why isn't this making my path? Maybe try reducing my tolerance, maybe? No, that didn't work. Oh, it did make my path. I just don't have it selected. I'm dumb. Anyways. Okay. Cool. So now this is what I wanted to do. I'm experimenting here, so let's see. Let's get this at a really small size. Smaller than that. Alright, so I'm going to stroke the path with that. kind of worked. So I think I'm gonna try that. I'm gonna do that again. But I kind of want to do some more spacing. I like the size. I think the size is good. So we're going to go back. We're going to back, back, back. Now we're going to open our brush and we're going to change our spacing out a little more. I want more spacing in there. Maybe not that much. Maybe like 300. $400? Yeah, that'll be good. Alright, so now let's try that again. Stroke, path. I think I'm going to do that one more time, but we're going to change one more thing. We're going to increase the brush size just a little bit. I like it. There we go. That's what I wanted. That's what I wanted. Okay. Yeah. I like that. What is this? What is this? Huh? And there's some minis that the world just does not need my take on, and stairs fall on that list. You know, maybe one day, maybe one day you'll make some stairs. I don't know. You don't have to though. I'll probably, I don't know. I've thought about with like as far as 3D goes, because I make a lot of this stuff already in ZBrush, but I'm like, I'm not making terrain, I'm making like decoration assets that I make into things I use for my map making stuff for Photoshop. I don't really make a whole lot of stuff for STLs as much. I mean, usually when I make STLs, it's just like minis. And those are cool, but there's a lot of other minis out there. I'm thinking I might start doing more, I don't know, I gotta figure the math side of it out, but like I've been thinking about doing more terrain stuff at some point. Terrain and decoration STLs that people can use to 3D print for their maps, because I mean, I've always kind of been known as a map person, I guess, so it would almost make sense to do that. I don't know, I haven't decided yet. I don't know, maybe, or I'll just keep doing what I already do now and just make whatever I feel like making when I feel like making it. Which is not a bad thing to do too, but not always consistent though. Like I spent the first 8 years of my career in this industry making maps, and then I started making adventures, and then I started making some STLs, and then I started doing magic items. I just kind of did them all at once. I was just like, I'm just going to shift a bunch of stuff all at once. And then in the last like year and a half, I've made like maybe 10 maps, where I used to make like 100 maps a year. I've made like 10 maps in the last year, but I've made like 200 magic item illustrations and about like 20 STLs and stuff, you know. So it's like, I don't know. I don't know if that's the right thing to do for like my the people who support me, or if, I don't know. I just keep doing. Honestly, like I really have enjoyed making STLs and illustrations a lot. Not that I don't like making maps, but I love making maps too. That's why I ever started doing it. but I haven't been making them as much. Alright, I'm gonna get back to this staircase, or not staircase, this dock over here. Get this one last little spot that I need to do. I just need to do it. And I need to turn snap off, because snap is making it snap. Yeah, that's true. It's weird, like, I get zero. This is actually half the reason why I'm thinking about starting to do streams. It's because I get fuck all for feedback from my patrons and my audience. So, like, I figured maybe if I start doing this, maybe that will create some more engagement with a community in general, and then maybe if I'm lucky, I'll figure out what people actually want from me. What you guys want from me, you know. We'll see. It might work, it might not, I don't know. I'm just gonna make this whole area over here freaking mess. I'm not entirely happy with the way it's turning out right now, but and it's not bad, but it's not done either. I want finished. I want results. Alright, let's see. If I drop this down a little bit, and just erase a little bit of that over there. Now we can go on a different layer. Which one is this? That one's that. Okay. No, wrong layer. This layer. Yes, that's the right layer. Yeah, totally. Honestly, like, I think Mia is awesome. Like, she's got a really good personality. She's like very talkative and whatnot, and engaging. That's definitely true. I don't know. That's not something that I've ever been. I'm not like, I don't know. I don't want to say like I'm terrible at it, but like I'm also not like I've never been like excelled at it or anything. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what I'm trying to say. It is like, I will say though, like going over to her streams and stuff whenever she does stream, it is actually like legitimately exciting sometimes. Like just to like hang out and like chat with her followers and everything. Like, okay, so I'm changing that part up. We're going to add a couple more here and here. It's so hard to get people to engage. I've tried so many different ways. I've tried with polls. I've tried with like legitimately like begging for people to tell me what they want on my Patreon through posts. Like, I've tried so many different things, and just it's just like nothing. Like, I got a Discord, no one ever chats in it. Which, that's another thing too, like with the Discord community, it's like you have a Discord community and it's like no one chats in it, and then it's like it makes you not even want to like send people to the Discord for future, because it's like whenever you start sending new people to the Discord, and then it's all of a sudden they're like, oh hey, I'm here like by myself with like 150 people who don't talk. Like, how do you even like? I don't know. I don't know. One day I'll figure it out, or I won't, and I'll just keep making content for the quiet crowd. Let's try that again. I don't like where that went. There it is. Okay, backed up to there. Let's hide that. Okay, so that's on that layer. That's on that layer. That's on that layer. So I just need to make another layer. That's what it is. Let's create another layer. Yeah, that is true. Radio silence isn't always a bad thing, because that, you know, just means that they're happy, they're still supporting me. Like, it's just funny, I get so much more engagement from other people's communities than I do my own. It's just like, I don't know. Like I said, this map is coming from another community. It's like a different community than my own community was like, hey, will you make this map? And I was like, yes, I will make that map. And now I'm making that map. Like, I even had polls for a while. Some of them got a little bit of traction for a little bit, but then they just kind of stopped. But like, I did have so like I did do like polls for like what map should I make next, and I just gave a list of maps, and those, honestly, for a while I was getting like 50-60 votes per poll, and then they just turned to like 10-20 votes, then 5 votes, and then like I'd put a poll up and I'd get like 1 vote, and it's just like, what's I don't know. Maybe I'll try it again one day. I also did go through like a little bit of a period, because like I was making a lot of stuff for my Patreon, and then I ran some Kickstarters, and then I was making all this stuff for my Kickstarters, and I kind of like stopped like engaging a little bit with everybody in my just in general, just because I was trying to focus so much on creating everything for that Kickstarter, that I just, maybe, I don't want to say neglected my Patreon, but like, because I still, like, everything I made I put out on Patreon still, but like I stopped like talking as much, I guess you can say. And not that it was ever like incredibly engaging in the first place, but yeah. Alright. I like that color a little more. I don't know. Actually, I don't like that color more. I want this to have a little bit more of a yuck color. We're gonna go. Want some? You know what? I can do that later. Maybe I will put that into this, but I can always do some of that later too. Sorry, I'm thinking about colors. Yeah, absolutely. Well, I did one Kickstarter that was like huge, for Tomb of Dungeons, and it was like I mean, it got like 55,000 on Kickstarter, and then like another like 30,000 on BackerKit, and then like I don't know, like I just the amount that I got attention I got from Kickstarter in general, just I'm not gonna lie, it kind of intimidated me because like I was like all of a sudden like I had all these people backing this, and so I really had to like sit down and like just focus on like making all this stuff. And the other part about that one was the Tomb of Dungeons. Like I was like, okay, so I've written at that point, I had written like I don't know 4 or 5 little short one-shot adventures, and made thousands of maps. Had not made one single STL at that point. Never made a single STL. But like, and I hadn't made magic item cards or anything like that. Yeah, I designed magic items, but I hadn't illustrated anything like that. There's all the stuff. So like, when I launched the Kickstarter, it was originally going to be 5 dungeons with maps, and you know, it was going to be in a book with text and everything. And then, boom, funded. I had stretch goals to go out to increase it up to 15 total. And I was just like, in day 2, I had already unlocked every single stretch goal. And I was like, what the fuck? So then I was like, okay, well, what can I do? Because I don't want to keep making more dungeons and bloating this book out to be so ginormous that it turns into like a 500-page book. I was like, I need to keep this in like the 250 range, you know, or under 250. We actually want it to be 256 pages. But I needed to keep it down to where I have enough dungeon content, written content at that point. No way do I need to do anymore. So I was like, what can I do to continue having like, you know, like just instead of being like, okay, all the stretch goals are unlocked and I still have 29 days of funding. Thanks. What do I do? So then I was like, okay, I'm gonna do some magic. I'm gonna do some cards, and I'm gonna do traps, magic items, and stuff like that. And so I put out an update. Hey, I'm gonna do a stretch goal where if I get, you know, some more funding, I'm going to do magic. I'm going to do these magic item cards and trap cards. And boom, it instantly caused like a lot of the people who had already backed to increase their pledge to make sure that they got those cards, and brought in a whole other wave of new backers. And then it was the same story. In like 4 days, I unlocked all the cards that I was going to do, and I was just like, oh my god, what is going on? And then so then I was like, okay, well, I'll make some STLs, I guess. I've been learning how to do this. I'm going to just make an STL file, and I made a stretch goal. At this point, I was just like, I'm spacing these out a little bit more. Maybe my stretch goals were too compacted, but I'm gonna put some stretch goals out there so that I make a model for each of the dungeon bosses from each of the. So I had 15 STLs potentially. Well, I think it was like 20 because I did a couple of them for like a couple of dungeons had 2. But anyways, so I had different models that I was going to make, and then I stretched those out. And I mean, I'm telling you, on the last day, I finally unlocked the last of. So I wound up having one for each one, and I unlocked all of them. It was great. But then at that point, I turned around and I was like, now I gotta write all this shit, and I gotta make all these cards, illustrate all these items, design all these STLs. And I had never published a single magic item illustration. I knew I could, but I never published one. I never made an STL that I published. I knew I probably could, but I'd never done it. Yeah, and then so at that point I was just like, and on top of that, I had 5 maps made. I had written the content for 1.5 of them. So I had like less than 10% of the book was written. Less than 15% of the book was maps were made, And then boom, I had all this stuff, and I had this Kickstarter and all this funds, and I was just like, I have to produce this now. So I got, yeah, going back to the radio silence topic, which I've been just circling around for a minute now. I just went super radio silent to all of everyone who like followed me, and I just like sat down and busted my butt to make all that content. And then, yeah, I don't know. Good times. I mean, it was fun because I pulled it through. I made it. I did everything. I distributed all that like a year and a half ago. So it got done, which is cool. Yeah, that is exactly what I did. And it turned into like, it took me like almost a year and a half to do it all. And honestly, I could have probably spent another 6 months just polishing it, you know. But I was like, I gotta get this out. I gotta get this done because, you know, like I had at that point, you know, like, I mean, that money's only going to last so long with what came in for profit wise for what I can support myself on, and my family on. So it was like I had to, yeah, like I had to get that thing out. Like I couldn't sit here and just like wait another 6 months to do it. Like otherwise I wouldn't have been able to like distribute it. I wouldn't have been able to pay for the printing. I wouldn't have been able to do that because I got to get that out so I can move on to something else and stuff, you know. And that was, oh man, I don't know. It was stressful. It was very stressful. And then there's like, and the imposter syndrome kind of like crept in at one point with me. It was just like, you know, like, are people going to be happy with this? With what I made? Like, I second guessed myself a lot on like if what I was making was going to be good enough. I don't know. That whole it's a lot. It's a lot to think about. That's all I can say. So like since then I've done like a couple of other Kickstarters since then. None of them have done anywhere near like what that first one did, which was I've done 2 zine quests since then, which were just literally just like one shot PDF and like a little 15-page softcover book and a couple of STLs. And then I did the other Kickstarters that I was a partner on with Adventure Awaits. I always forget where the S is. But we did arcane armaments for all those. we did all those magic item cards that I did, which also, I just got in the proofs. Let me look at my OBS to make sure that I'm showing this off right. I got the proofs for all of the decks and for the magic item cards that I just did. I've ordered them. I've ordered the cards now. I'm waiting for the proofs I'm waiting for the proof of the book itself so that I can distribute them. And yeah, this is the actual card, the actual deck box, and then all of the cards themselves. Let me find a cool one. This one's pretty cool. The illustration I made, and then on the back the rules. Probably can't read all that, but I'll post some better pictures at some point. But yeah, I'm like, so we did a deck. There's 200 and some odd items. It started off with base of 200, and then we had some created custom item. I think we had, I don't understand this one. So we had 4 people that backed our highest all-in tier, which was insanely, I can't believe we had one person do it. I think it was like $250 for that. And one of the items they get, I mean, they basically get all these decks. They get the book, as well as we actually added in Ben's old book and my old book, Tomb of Dungeons, the one that I was talking about earlier, as other rewards, as well as some tile sets that I still need to make, and a custom item. So, like, you know, we're just trying to figure out everything that we can give them. So we had 4 people sign up for that, and then we had 2 more people sign up on Backer Kit as an add-on to just buy a custom magic item. Out of all those people, so that should have been 7 custom magic items that we needed to make for the book, and only 3 of them, 3 or 4, came out. It's either 3 or 4 reached out to us and got that, and actually talked to us about their magic item, and gave us an idea, gave us what they wanted to do for the custom magic item. So, and it's like, these people fucking paid for that, but none of them like reached out. And like the people that reached out, like 2 of them were from purchasing the actual custom magic item as an add-on, and I think only either the other 1 or 2, I can't remember if it was 1 or 2, were from the tier. So there's still like 2 or 3 people or 4 people or something. I can't remember. There's people that didn't even reach out and paid money for a custom magic item, and it's like, well, we're not just going to sit here and wait forever for you to decide what you want. You know, like, I don't get it. I don't get it. Like, they just never reached out, and like we emailed them and reached out to them several times, and finally it's just like, okay, well, the book's going to print. I'm not going to sit here and hold off on this forever for you. Like, you're either going to reach out to me and tell me. I guess what the final email that I think Ben sent, I don't even know exactly how he worded it, but basically it was like, hey, the deadline for getting it into the print production is this week. You know, like, we've reached out to you like 10 times already, and you haven't sent us an email back or anything. So if at a later date you decide, hey, you still want to get your custom item made, we'll make it, but it's not going to go in the print at this point. You're not going to have a card for it. It's not going to be in the book. Maybe we'll make an update to the PDF itself and it'll go in there. But I don't know. That was weird. I don't understand how like anyone could pay for something like that, and not just that, but that much money for something, and then not like. All they had to do was just email us, like I don't know. Yeah, some of the super backers do just click by and don't realize. I did notice that every single one of them were super backers. Every single one of them were super backers. So, I don't know. So my colors are off on this, on the docks versus up here. I'll deal. I guess I'll deal with that a little bit later on some post production. I think at this point. No, I need to make sure that I have this stairwell right here. This is, let me look at my reference. It's 5:30 here, so I'm going to have to cook dinner here soon at some point. Not right this second, but soon. I'm missing a door. I'm missing a door right here. How are they gonna get in if there's no door? That's the secret to the Hag Slayer. We don't make doors so that the adventurers can't get in. Alright, so we get a door here, so I just basically need to delete this wall carefully without deleting anything from the other one up there. Looks like I deleted a little bit of it. It's okay, I know how I can fix that. Because this one's going to be easier to delete that. And now I can just go back over here to this one and just draw that little spot. Think about how much better life could be if you didn't have a front door for people to come bother you through. Just gotta figure a way to get food. I guess that means I'll have to like start growing my own food. Like, I don't know, but where? I'll just drill a hole into the roof. Oh, I did that on the wrong layer. Dang it. My cats would probably love that too. They would absolutely love that, actually. I don't know, they don't ever actually get on the roof though. If that was like the only way in and out of my house is through my roof. Maybe windows. Maybe I need windows. Cause yeah, I gotta have a windows because you gotta have a way to get rid of your trash. And I can just like throw it all outside the window. Alright, so here we go. This is this. Now we need to make another set of stairs. 80. Wait. Okay, so just realized those stairs are going the wrong direction down there because maybe we can just chalk this up to another reason why I redo Wizards of the Coast maps. Their shadows on their original map are off. The part that goes up to the next layer has shadows that make the stairs look like they go down. And same thing with the other one. Well, the other one just doesn't have shadows at all. Just wow. Okay, so I was like, that's what I was wondering. I was like, wait, hold on, how does this line up? And I'm like, huh. So this one just basically needs to be, this set of stairs needs to just be basically flipped around. Wow. No, I'll show you the reference. Look. Right here. Let me go to the GM layer. Let me move some of this stuff out the way. See, up to... Oh my god, they also have that on the... Is it on the token layer? Is it on the map layer? Is it separate? Oh, it's just part of the map. Wow. Okay. So up. Up. Does that look like it goes up, or am I just crazy here? That looks like that's shadows. Up, like you put shadows at the bottom when you're going up, and then light on the top to signify that it's going up. Does that look like it's going up to you? Other than the arrow. The arrow does show that. I just didn't read that. So don't comment on my readership stuff. I don't read sometimes. But I just look at the map and I saw the shadows, so I figured that goes down. Am I crazy here? Am I crazy here? The map looks like it goes. And the same thing with this one. I have to move more stuff out the way. Yeah, that's okay. Cool. It's not just me. Good old Wizards of the Coast. Alright, well, I fixed it, and I'll fix more of it later. I'll blend it because it's way too bright here and way too dark here right now, but I'll deal with that later. I do need to... There's a couple more stairs. I need to go ahead before I move on to the next part of this, which I'm probably going to do a lot of this tomorrow, but I do need to I want to go ahead and we're going to do this wooden floor. Let's do this on water. So I have 2 layers for water. Water. That might be one of the only ways that you can tell where I am from, is because I say water weird. I was arguing with someone in the stream a couple weeks ago. It's because they found out that I was from the southeast, and they're like, "Oh, you probably talk like a redneck." And I'm like, "No, I don't. Actually, I don't talk like a redneck." But there's some words like I say water weird. I'm going to use the path tool. Yeah. I can't remember who made those maps for Wizards on that one. I don't think that's Schley. I feel like Schley would have been better about that. I actually like Mike Schley's maps. Like, I don't really care so much for his dungeon maps so much, but like, oh, I did that wrong. Let's try that again. But I do like his overworld maps. But even like his dungeon maps, like I feel like he does a better job than that usually. No accent. Oops. I don't know. I've heard you talk. You have a little bit of an accent. Not much. Like I could definitely hear that you have like somewhat of an accent. Like whenever I've watched your streams before and stuff, like. 150. 150. And let me erase this up to 15. There we go. Click there. Alright, now we have that. I need a hatch door. I need to find one of my hatch doors. I know I have a couple of them. So I'm just going to drop the asset down. But I'm going to go for about another 15 minutes and then I'm probably going to log out and I'm going to finish the rest of it tomorrow. Ooh, while I'm looking at this, I need to add this up here because I know that this is a little spot that needs to have a rat trap. I was just in my assets looking through my folder and I saw it, so. Where are my hatches? That's one of the good parts about having like 6,000, 7,000 assets that you've made. Is you have 6,000, 7,000 assets that you've made. One of the downsides of having 6,000 or 7,000 assets that you've made is you have 6,000 or 7,000 assets that you made. And searching through those is, especially when you don't have a great naming. I mean, I don't know. I wouldn't say I don't have a good naming convention because I kind of have tried to, but there's an old floor hatch. That one looks terrible. I don't like that one. That's an old one I made a long time ago. I know I get a better one somewhere in here. Boom, I found it. That one's a little bit better. Alright, so that needs to go here. Let me double check my reference exactly where it needs to go. That way it lines up. Right next to the... Oops. That. Reduce the size a little bit. So most of my assets I've made, I always make them a little bit bigger than they need to be, just so that I have a little bit of room to size them up and down a little bit. Usually you have to size them down a little bit more than up. That way I don't have to size up. I'm actually going to hide this in here like that. It opens from that way. And then we're just going to mask that. Mask it in case I decide I want to change it later. That way it's not destructive. Okay, so we're going to do that. And now I'm going to do one more thing with this layer. I'm going to do some more like posts. this will really kind of sell. It's more of a porch, like, not a porch, but like, you know what I mean? A post. And we have that done. Now we have to do. Get out of there. The regular ones. 0. Go back to 0. So I'm just changing my angle on this brush because this brush is a square. So, not always talking through what I'm doing here, huh? Hopefully I'll get better about that with, like, when I stream, like, just talking. I'm not always used to talking while I work. But I do talk a lot, in general, so. I'm going to figure out how to do that one. Yeah. Well, that's kind of why I was like, you know, like, I didn't, the only place that I even, like, mentioned that I was streaming was in Mia's channel. I was just like, you know what, there's people that like, go and, like, watch her and stuff, so, because I didn't want to stream and there'd be nobody, because then I don't get used to it. I don't get used to reading chats and talking and things. So you gotta have some kind of audience. So, by the way, thank you so much for, like, being my one audience member. I think the other person is just be having the stream open in the background, because that makes it to where I can see your comments. Because for some odd reason, OBS is not showing me. I gotta figure that one out later. Because OBS is not showing me my comments. So I'm only seeing the comments through YouTube, through the chat. Do you have a distinct voiced inner monologue? I have no idea what that means. Do I have a distinct voiced inner monologue? Like, while I'm not streaming, like, do I like narrate myself? Is that what you mean by that? I'm trying to think what you mean by that. Because, I mean, if so, then maybe, yes. Maybe. Sort of. Like, if this is not what you mean, then this is probably going to sound weird. But, like, sometimes whenever, like, I'm working, because, like, okay, so I've, like, to get to where you to where I am as a map maker and stuff like that, and just in general, not just map making, but like STLs, everything I've done. I've watched a ton of tutorials. So sometimes while I'm working, I will, like, narrate to myself, like, how it would sound if I was doing a tutorial, if that makes sense. I don't know. I don't know how to explain it, but like sometimes, and not always either. Sometimes in my head though, like I do hear myself narrating as if I was writing a tutorial about what I'm doing. Yeah. Okay, sort of. Yeah, like whenever you hear, when you think thoughts in your head, are there words that you think? Yes. Yeah, I think both, because okay, thoughts with the meditating monkey. Some people think in images or movie or like not movie, but like I mean, I feel like I do both. Like sometimes I'll think, like I'll see in my head a visual of what I'm thinking of, but then you also hear in your head the sound of the narration or your voice or whatever. And sometimes it's your own voice, sometimes it's another voice, sometimes it's Morgan Freeman. um, oh, that would be so funny. That would be so awesome. Like, actually, tra- now I want to train myself to think more in Morgan Freeman narration, where he's just narrating in my head at all times. Okay. We got about 5 or so minutes left, and then I'm done for the day. At least for today. I'll try to do this tomorrow again. How did I come up with meditating monkey? So there is a little bit of a story to this. Not much. A little bit. um, so monkey was somewhat of a nickname that was given to me um, a long time ago by the drummer in my old band. It wasn't even really even a nickname. It's not like they always called me that or anything like that. Like it was just like one day, because so like we used to play music, and we would like record our band practice, and then after band practice we would listen back to the recording, and that would be like our way of like a second way of like hearing what we just did and whatnot, to know what we really need to target to be better on. So anyways, we had a PA system in our jam room, and it wasn't like on like a pole or anything like some PAs that are up. It was just like a big giant speaker that was kind of over in the corner of the room. And so whenever we would play back, we would play it back through the PA, and I used to hop up on top of the PA because it was a giant, like, I mean, it was a big speaker. So I would like hop up onto the speaker and just like kind of listen. And then one day Will was like, he called me, "You fucking monkey, you just like jump up on the PA all the time," or whatever. So and then from that point on, like him and Tony like just started calling me monkey every now and then. Not all the time, but sometimes. And so that kind of is where that part of the name came from. And then it evolved a little bit more to meditating whenever I randomly, whenever I first got my original Xbox, like the very first one that, like, I can't remember what number it was, but it was like created a username, and it's like, here's a suggestion, and then it literally just like came up with the first suggestion it came up with was meditating monkey, but it was spelled with a MONKEY, and then I just edited that I changed the O to a U and the EY to just a Y, just to have I don't know, a different way to spell it. And that's so, but Xbox came up with the meditating side. So that's where that came from. And so I kind of went with it. And then, like, it just became my user sign in on places like when I created my Roll20 account, not for a seller account, but for just a user account on Roll20. I used my Xbox name, and I had no thoughts that I was going to turn it into like a brand. And then that's kind of where it came from. It came from it being from a nickname that randomly Xbox suggested be my name for my first username for Xbox. And also a nickname that my old drummer kind of gave me because I used to climb on the PA at the band practice, and it was his speakers, and I think inside his head it was his way of like being like, don't do that because you're gonna break it. But and so whenever I started doing selling maps, like I didn't, like, even then I didn't think it was gonna like be a brand. I did no thought on brand researching or anything like that. I was just like, I'm gonna start selling my maps because, which is another, I guess this could be another topic. When I started selling my maps, when I started making maps, I was DMing for a group on Roll20, and I would make all my maps. And then they were like, dude, you make really good maps. You should totally sell these. And Roll20 just put a thing out saying they're looking for more artists to sell their stuff. And I was like, no one's going to buy this. And they're like, yeah, but it doesn't hurt to put it out there. If one person buys it, it pays for your Roll20 subscription. So I was like, I guess. And I kept putting it off. I probably for like 2 or 3 months, if not more, probably 6 months. I put it off, and they kept saying, dude, sell your stuff. Dude, sell your stuff. So finally, I sent them an email. And I was like, hey, I make stuff. Can I sell this stuff? I remember my players keep trying to encourage me to do this, and I just can't sell stuff. What do? And so they sent me a message back. They're like, yeah, sure, send us an example. And I sent them an example of like one of my maps. It was like not even a good map. And they're like, yeah, sure, we'll sell this. And then they set me up with a seller profile. And then boom, next thing I know, I put out like honestly, like I didn't know what to sell at that point. And so I just made like this really generic world maps, and I put them out. And then I sold like 5 or 6, maybe. It was like $30. It was like $35 or something like that I made the first month. And I was like, wow, I just paid for my Roll20. So my goal was to pay for my Roll20 subscription, pay for my, Photoshop subscription, and then maybe have some like pizza money. And I was like, if I can do this over the course of like 6 months, then maybe I'll keep doing it. Month 1, paid for Roll20, paid for Photoshop, had enough money to get a pizza. And I was like, okay, I'll keep doing this. So I made another set, and then I made like $60. And I was like, well, that's cool. So then I kept doing it, and I started making modular dungeon tiles, because I was like, that'll be something that people will use. So I made modular dungeon tiles, and then boom, the first set of modular dungeon tiles I made was like my 3rd or 4th set I put out. Sold like, it was like $300. And I was just like, wow. All of a sudden I'm like, and this is also when Roll20 was getting started too, and there's like not as much competition for visibility. And then I was just like, I put out this first set, and I made like a decent amount of money. So then I just kept putting stuff out, and then eventually I hurt my back, and at the time I was working at a restaurant, and I injured my back. So then I was kind of like, I couldn't work, and I was literally stuck in my computer chair. Not like stuck in my computer chair, but like I couldn't lay down. I couldn't sleep in a bed because it hurt to lay down. I literally, so I was sleeping in my computer chair, and I was just like, well, I'm just gonna keep making stuff. And this is around the time I'd been doing it for maybe like 6 months at that point. And I was just like, I'm just gonna keep putting stuff out, and this is what I'm gonna do. And then, you know, my wife was also, she was bartending at the time, so she was making a decent amount of money, so I was able to not go to work. And I was just like, I'm going to try to get this to where it makes enough money to supplement some income while she's bartending and I'm making this. And then over the course of, I actually had a little bit of medical leave from the place I was working at 12 weeks of it. By the time I had gotten through like 8 weeks of it, I had put out enough stuff to where it wasn't making as much as I was making at the restaurant, but it was making enough to make it to where I could see a pattern. And I was just like, I'm gonna keep doing this, and then maybe I'll get lucky and I'll be able to make this my full-time thing. And yeah, that was like 8-9 years ago. And now I've done this full-time. I've like not worked and worked. Like, I haven't worked a full-time job since I started doing this. I've worked part-time jobs with friends. I stopped working for people that I don't want to work for. I stopped working for companies. I stopped working for anybody. Like, I've done work with my dad, and I've done work with one of my best friends since then. And that's pretty much it. And I've done a lot of volunteering too, which was awesome, because that was a nice path to getting into like helping the community, especially during 2020. I did a lot of help with an outreach in my town to help basically bag food up for people and put it in their trunks when they're driving up, and they needed a lot of help. So that was really cool. I couldn't have done that if I wasn't able to also work from home. And I still helped them out from time to time, but not as much as I did back in 2020. I don't know. I feel like I'm rambling now, which is probably what I'm supposed to do, right? As a YouTube streamer, I think I'm supposed to do that. I'm supposed to ramble. Anyways, I think I'm gonna do one more quick thing before I log out for today, because I got the base outlines and textures and walls and everything done, but I need to do this one right here. It was just going to be a really simple one to do. I need to make this little well that is there. It's like a little cylinder. Awesome, I did what I was supposed to do. By accident. Alright. Well, that's what it is. I just need people to ask me the questions that like make me like talk. Like, how did you get your username? Maybe I'll start doing that like for a little bit. I'll just like lead off with like, hi, I monkey, I make map, you like map, and then do like the basic intro to like to a stream. And then I'll go into like how my name came about, and then that'll like give a little something for me to talk about. That'd be cool. Maybe. I don't know. Okay, I need to hide. That actually it might be easier just to bring this above for a second, because this will show right where it needs to line up at. I could have just done that. That's right. It's right there next to the floor hash. There we go. All right. Stroke path. Done. Okay. So I'm gonna zoom out a little bit, and then I'm gonna actually move this. This will be cool. I'll move this to the very top, if it'll move. Move this one up to the very top. There we go. Well, hide my grid, and we'll end our stream here. This is what we started with. This is literally what I started with. Excuse me. And this is what I turned it into. There you go. Oh, I want to get rid of these. Going to later, because this is not going to be grass here, it's going to be water back around here. Later on my next stream, I will do some more work on this and hopefully maybe finish it. I got a bunch of like the main parts done, so I think really the next steps that I need to do is just dropping a bunch of my assets and then doing some of like the detail work that I do, shadows, lighting, fixing textures, coloring, things like that. On this project so far, what time did I start streaming? I think YouTube can tell me that, can't it? Started streaming 2 hours ago. So I started streaming 2 hours ago, and this is where I'm at. This map will probably take, most maps I do take anywhere between 4 to 20 hours. It's just a wide range. This one's probably a little bit easier because it's a little more simple. I'd say on average probably 6 to 8 hours is more of a better average for how long I spend on each map. Maybe even up to 10. Some maps, I mean, there's some maps that I spend like 20 hours plus. It really all depends. Some maps I can make in under 2 hours. Like if I wanted to make a forest map, like a little bit of ruins or something, I could probably get that done in like a 2 hour solid time. But yeah. So far on this project, I've been two and a half hours. I think I started streaming, actually probably a little bit longer than that, because it was like 3:30-ish when I was messing with OBS trying to figure out how to start streaming. And it is now 6:12, so almost 3 hours. I'm almost 3 hours in on this. Part of that was figuring out how to fucking do OBS. And I did do my block out before I came in. That just took me about 10 minutes to do. So, yeah, 3 hours. We'll just say 2.5 hours. And this is where you're at, where I'm at so far. The next stream that I do will have a lot more transition. It's not just going to be like clicking on walls and stuff like that. It's going to be me putting a bunch of assets in. Might even make, and that's another thing too, like sometimes if I need to make some new assets, so that can add time in too. Like I know whenever I did the Palace of Harsh Desire, I probably spent about 25 hours making that map. But I made, God, I couldn't even tell you how many new assets I made for that one. Actually, this might help, because these are some of the new assets I made for that one. Boom. I made all of these. So 34 new assets. Well, I guess some of these are just rocks with glyphs on them. But I made some dragonflies. So I mean, that's just one that I just did a different angle on. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So like 14 or 15 new assets or so that I made in ZBrush. You know, I just kind of made some quick little base things. I know like the Groot one, I just like pulled in, like I grabbed like a, off a Thingiverse, I grabbed like a very base generic model of, you know, of like a low poly thing, and then I kind of just like sculpted it out a little bit, refined it. I could actually probably show a process of how I make assets and move them from ZBrush to Photoshop, and how I do that. I'll do a stream on that one day. I think the next stream I do, which will probably be tomorrow, I'm going to finish this map, and then after I finish this map, then maybe I'll make some assets. But yeah, I'm gonna go make dinner and hang out with the family for a little bit. So Ella, good to see you. Anyone who's watching this later, well, I had notes. I had notes of things I should say at the beginning and end the streams. I'm looking at notes now. Okay. Alright. So I got a solid base done. Thank you everyone who stopped by. I know like Mia, Aloha, and then Ella. You guys hung out. You hung out the whole time. That's awesome. Mia and Aloha stopped in. Maybe some other people I didn't see stopped in and just checked it out. Maybe we'll have some more tomorrow. Don't forget to do the like and sub stuff so that like the YouTube gods know that people like this stuff, and then maybe they'll put this stuff in front of other people that like stuff like you like. That's the thing I think my word do. Yeah, so big thanks to everyone, and if anyone stops by and watches this later, thanks. I hope it wasn't too bad. I promise it'll probably get better, maybe. I don't know. Actually, I promise it may possibly get better, which takes away the promise because it means maybe. Next stream I'm probably going to do tomorrow. Places that you can support me on. You can find me on all the social medias for the most part. Like I have a Facebook, I have a Instagram and a Twitter or X or whatever, and a Blue Sky. I'm on those places. I'm somewhere on Mastodon. I don't even have a clue how to get to it, but I'm on one of those things. I've not checked it in a long time. I post stuff over there. I don't usually like talk much on Instagram and social media, but Instagram is probably the best one, the one that I am most active with because I'll actually look at stuff. But it's Meditating Monkey or Meditating Monkey Maps on each of them. I think Instagram is Meditating Monkey Maps, but all the other ones are like at Meditating Monkey or Meditating, whichever way you find it from there. Also, same thing with Patreon. I'm on Patreon, Meditating Monkey Maps. I should know my Patreon name. Meditating Monkey TTRPG Maps. This is my page, Meditating Monkey TTRPG Maps. At patreon.com, Meditating Monkey with the underscore in there. Yes, that's me. I figured it out. I know my name now. Here's like a link to my Patreon if anyone wants to go there. I'm also on Roll20. Just search for Meditating Monkey on Roll20. You can find my stuff there. I got a lot of stuff there. I'm like opening up Roll20 now. It might take a minute. Like if you go to the marketplace, you can find my stuff there. And you just go to like go to the map section. Oh wait, that's Jim. I wonder. I might be in there. I don't know. They usually decide if they're gonna. But yeah, here we go. So you just go like to the map section, go Meditating Monkey. It pops up. Boom, there we are. And I got all kinds of maps, like a lot of maps. There's like literally 11 pages of maps for me, and there's more stuff too. I also have adventures and stuff too in here. Yeah, you can get my stuff that way. You can get my stuff on Patreon. You can get my stuff on Roll20. I think I'm even on Forge Bazaar. I'm over there too. I'll talk about Kickstarters sometimes. I do Kickstarters every now and then. But yeah, if you want to support me, those are places. Patreon's a really good spot. Roll20 is also a good spot if you want to get something. You don't want to do a subscription, pay stuff. You just want something, one time. Get stuff there. And if you just want to like and subscribe to my YouTube channel, that could help too. And that's free. We like free, right? And then eventually I'll give this map away for free. Because like things I work on stream, I'm going to do that. I'm going to give it away for free whenever it's done. Not today, but later, once I'm done with it. Because you don't want this, it's not done. Anyways, love you guys. Bye.